Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Chase, and today I'm bringing you guys another financial video, and it is going to be about sneaker pricing. As we already know, sneaker prices go from very cheap to very expensive, up in the tens of thousands, if not more. And the reason why I'm making this video is because recently one of my buddies hit me up like, "What's up, Jace? I'm trying to cop a pair of Grails, and what do you think I should get, or do you think I should get it right now?" And that is the reason why I'm making this video today, is to answer that question. Because when is it really a good time to buy a Grail? When is it okay to spend $2,000 on a pair of sneakers? And what I'm really diving deep into is the difference between affordance and just buying something outright. And this difference is definitely going to be very important in terms of just budgeting and keeping your priorities in order. More on that upcoming in this video, so make sure you stick around. But as always, make sure you destroy that like button and support your boy Jace. I spent a lot of time making these informational videos for you guys, and I really hope you guys get a lot of helpful tips out of them. Like I said in all my videos, really want to help you guys become more financially savvy, to become more financially literate, and just to make more money in 2021 moving forward. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so before we can dive into actually answering his question, should he cop this Grail for $2,000? First, we gotta know the difference between affordance and just buying something. So obviously buying something really just means that, do you have the money for it? So if it's a $2,000 Travis Scott Jordan 1, do I have $2,000 for it? Could I pay that right now? If yes, then yes, you can buy it. So what's the difference between that and affordance? So affordance takes into account, do you have the $2,000? But in addition to that, are you still able to fulfill your priorities and your obligations? Meaning, if you have bills to pay, if you have rent, all these other things, if you can still fulfill those and prioritize paying for those things first, and you still have $2,000 left after the fact, then yes, you can also afford it. Another way you could also think of it is disposable income. Do you have $2,000 of disposable income? And that's basically just income that you don't have allocated for anything that you have to pay for, that you must fulfill as an obligation. So now moving on to better illustrate this point, I do want to give two different examples about why you would want to operate on an affordance basis rather than just outright always planning on, okay, if I have $2,000, I can spend $2,000. Now, I'm gonna have two friends with two different situations. The first one is gonna be, let's just call her Amy. So she is a traditional hype beast, you know, wears Babe, wears Stone Island, Travis Scott, and any other trendy hype beast piece of clothing, and spends thousands of dollars. She rents and has roommates. She owes, let's say, $1,000 a month for rent. And let's say she only makes $3,000. So does this seem like a great idea for her to spend $2,000 on some Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s? Probably not, right? Because if you take her monthly income of $3,000, let's just say that's post-tax, she spends $1,000 on her rent, and then she ends up buying $2,000 Travis Scott 1s. So what is she left over with? $0. $0 for the rest of the month. So what is she going to eat? What is she going to use for utilities or whatever else that she has to pay for? This is what I'm talking about when I say, can she buy it? Yes, she can. She has $2,000, but can she afford it? No, she can't. Because she has other bills and other obligations that she is not able to fulfill anymore if she were to buy these sneakers. So in this case, this is not a good way to spend or allocate your money or your disposable income. So now we got example number two, and let's call this friend Kevin. Kevin is also a traditional hype beast. He likes wearing Stone Island, Travis Scott 1s, you know, buys Supreme all the time. But here's the big difference though. He gets most of his money by either reselling or selling old pieces that he has bought in the past to generate money that he needs in order to buy these Travis Scott Jordan 1s for $2,000. So because he does it that way, he is not in fact using all of his, let's say he also makes $3,000. He's not using all of his income on the sneaker and he's still able to fulfill his obligations because he's not touching the money he has coming in. He can still pay his rent, he can still get groceries, he can still pay for utilities, he can still live his life and not be hype beast broke. You know, when you talk real estate and you buy a house, there's this terminology which is called house broke, and that basically means that you're literally spending all of your monthly income paying for the mortgage. Similarly with these sneakers, you don't want to be sneaker broke. You don't want to spend $2,000 on a pair of shoes and have to spend all of that at once. And you know, granted, yes, this might be a one-time thing, but if you know sneakerheads like I know sneakerheads, you're not just buying one pair of sneakers. So as I talked about in my previous video, you know, opportunity cost too. If you end up spending $2,000 for this pair of shoes, chances are you're gonna miss out on a lot of other sneakers as well if you are still looking to invest or do other things with this money that you have worked hard to earn. So in this situation, you really have to kind of pay attention from these two examples. Are you more like Amy or are you more like Kevin? You gotta decide which decision is smarter, because it can negatively impact your life. If you are out in the real world, you pay your own bills like I do, you have other obligations, you definitely don't want to put yourself in a situation where you cannot afford to take care of your obligations first and foremost. Okay, so now we're gonna finally answer that question. Is it worth it for my friend to buy those pair of Grails? And what do you think I said to him? I told him that because of his situation, he sold off a lot of his old clothes and he's using that money towards something new that he wants. That's totally fine. He's able to actually buy that item outright because it's not affecting his obligations. It's not going to affect his life. The whole point of this video is that similarly for you, next time you're thinking about making an impulse purchase of $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 shoes, or anything really, ask yourself, can I really afford this? Is it going to affect my life negatively if I end up buying this item? And you know, if you really want to dive in deep about investing and all that too, it's like, okay, well, if I buy this right now, is it going to appreciate or turn into something that'll make me more money later on? And in that situation, it's a bit of a gamble, but you can do it. And I'll touch on this in another video. Like I said, I have a ton of financial videos coming up. Just think about your financial decisions. It's really going to keep you from making dumb decisions financially that are going to put you in a bind. All right, guys, that pretty much does it for me today. It's Jace, and don't forget that knowledge is wealth. As cheesy as that sounds, that is really how you're going to become more wealthy and progress, is by making smart financial decisions. And that is applicable to everything, including sneakers, which is what I mainly talk about on this channel. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and smash that bell notification so that you're notified every Thursday when I do drop new heat just like this one today. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Support your local businesses. Stay laced.